now I want to talk to you guys about what busy looks and feels like versus what productive looks and feels like. Okay, so I've created this little images here, right? To help me to give you guys a visual for what this is. So in this example, we're talking about busy. And what we've got here is you are in the center here. And all around you are these arrows that are meant to be like vectors, okay? So these are like representative of tasks that are progressing us forward, right? So when you're busy, right, what ends up happening is where you start in the day. So you start in one spot, and then you get pulled into something over here, okay? And then you get pulled into something back here, okay? You get pulled into something over here, okay? And you get pulled into something over here. And you get pulled over here, and you get pulled over here, and you get pulled over here, and you get pulled over here. You're touching everything, right? And where you end up is exactly where you started, right? You feel like you actually haven't achieved anything, right? Because you're staying in the same place, right? All these tasks, because you're trying to do all the things, are pulling you in all different directions. So nothing really ever fully gets accomplished. You're starting a lot of things, right? And let's talk about what this actually will look like. So this means trying to do a little bit of everything, right? I think one of the big things that I need to help you guys shift your mindset about is that, when we set our goals in the beginning of the year, so many people they get that feeling, they mess up with that feeling of, they get that feeling of overwhelm because they feel like, okay, well, I set these 6 goals, let's say. So every day I need to do something for these 6 goals, or every week I need to be moving these 6 goals forward, which is not necessarily true, right? Like if you're trying to move too many outcomes forward at one time, you become overwhelmed, you drop things, right? And that's why part of our philosophy in You Got Goals, right, is we actually schedule in when we're going to be working on tasks across the year. It's not necessary for you to touch everything every month. Some things, yeah, but not everything. So busy also looks like no focus or clear outcomes, right? You're just starting out, you're winging it. You got a whole to-do list in your head. Maybe you've written it down, but you've got this random things and you're just going to start tackling them, right? So there's no focused effort and there's no clear outcomes that you're really trying to achieve with your time and effort. It looks like no plans or no routines, right? So you really don't have like a schedule built. You don't have a daily routine for yourself or a weekly routine, literally winging it, right? Every single day, showing up and just reset, winging it again. It can also look like constantly putting out fires and that feeling of working from behind, right? So the idea that when I say putting out fires, it's like you've got a whole to-do list and you're so backlogged that the things that are getting your attention now are the things that are just blowing up, right? The things that have gone nuclear, right? Like they're the things that have what's another way of saying that? They're just the things that now are creating problems because you didn't do them, right? So that's what's getting your attention now, are these tasks that if they had been done, last week or whatnot, everything would have been fine. But now they've created a problem. And those are the things that get your attention. And this looks like, right, many things have been done. You have done a full day's worth of tasks, but no progress has been made. And it feels like your head was on a swivel, right? Going from one thing to another. And you have no clue how time got away from you, right? It's pure stress, pure chaos in this model, okay? Let's compare that to what productive looks and feels like, okay? So here we go. We have you in the beginning, right? You've got the place you're starting at, and we have all your little tasks represented by vectors, right? But we can see here, even though we have the same amount of arrows, right? The arrows are generally pointed in a solid direction. That means you are making some progress. Now, of course, yeah, you had a little interruption over here. There was a little side quest you had to do down here, right? But overall, you were able to return from any distractions and get back on the plan on the path, right? That is what we see here. Productive looks like I have a path. So where I start, I end up getting moved to the end here, right? So I could actually just take that little U and put her to the end, right? Because she has a path she's followed that actually makes her feel like progress has been made, because it has. Now, what this looks like is having a clear outcome in mind, right? You know what it is that you're trying to achieve today. It looks like focus and boundaries and saying no to things that take you off track. Like I said, in this little picture graphic, yeah, you may have some things that might be like offshoots, right? You might go on a little tangent here, but you're focused enough to say, look, I can do this, but I have to come back to my to-do list now, right? We're not going to let it take us on some distracting tour. We're always coming back to the path. It looks like you have a plan for your day. Like when your day goes like that, it looks like you had a plan, like there was intention and thought behind that. And it looks like the ability to get ahead on tasks, right? When you're in this productive mode, this is where not only are you making progress, but instead of being behind like on the busy day, right, putting out fires, you're actually able to get ahead of things now. And it looks like many of the things have been done and significant progress has been made. So you did lots of things and you made lots of progress. And this is the feeling of satisfaction, right? Like you made a difference today, right? Like your effort mattered. That is the feeling, right, that we're trying to get. We don't care that our day is filled with things to do, right? We just want to feel like at the end of the day, it mattered. My time mattered. I spent my time wisely. I created something, or I made progress towards something, right? That's the difference between what busy looks and feels like and what productive looks and feels like. So the difference between busy and productive is this. This is the bridge between them. Clarity on what you're doing and why, that's one difference. Having a plan to follow, that's another difference. The right mindset to feel capable, to get things done, and to set boundaries, right? That's the difference. The difference is a grasp on time and time management strategy. And finally, the physical energy to show up as your best self, right? Because sometimes on those days where we have tons of things to do, right? It's hard to show up as our best self when we've run out of steam, right? How many of us have made a to-do list with 10 things and we got 4 of them done? It was we ran out of energy, right? So that is the difference. These are the things that make the difference between being busy and being productive.